Hey guys, this is Sky Elabar, Big Braden from the Greasy Strangler, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast. You're a bullshit artist.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 360. Tonight, we're talking about 1980s Maniac. I'm one of your co-hosts, Todd. We have Steve. We are Joe-less tonight. Steve, what's going on, man?
Not too much. It's getting close to the that Christmas time and the holidays, and it's funny. It's
Gosh.
like you see it coming, but it fucking sneaks up on you at the same time. It's a kind of pain in the ass with you, and you know this. Moving at the same time is also like makes it a double pain in the ass. So
Yeah.
just dealing with it. How you doing?
Yeah, feeling your pain too. We officially moved this weekend, so
Hmm.
I've been like moving bits and pieces and doing a lot of like housework, painting and stuff like that. But we officially moved this Saturday. Man, like I can gauge like how old I'm getting by how difficult it is to move shit.
Right.
Because like, because I remember like back in the day, you're like, oh, this isn't shit. It took all day, but it wasn't that bad. Dude, I felt like my fucking ankle was gonna snap. I hammered my own finger, even though I was looking right at the nail. Like I'm like, you just like get delirious.
Right.
And I'm like, I do not want to do this anymore. Luckily, I had my daughters in high school, so I had a handful of her high school friends come help. So I'm
Nice.
like, they did a lot of the heavy lifting, but I still had to do couches and shit. So.
Hmm.
And then yeah, like you said, Christmas coming up. It's already the 9th as of this recording, so 2.5 weeks till Christmas or something like that. It's
Yep.
fucking wild, man. I haven't done shit. All their presents isn't like in Amazon boxes and stuff still. So
Right. Well, thank God for companies like Amazon because fuck, like going out and shit, like I don't have time for that.
yeah, as much as I hate I think like the rest of the world, like, oh yeah, we don't like Amazon, but
Right.
we all fucking buy from it.
Of course, it's so convenient. It's like hard not to, right?
Yeah. And it sucks because I'm like every day, like I'd rather go to like the local video game store, like
Oh,
not like a
sure.
GameStop, but like a random hole in the wall.
Hmm.
Try to get that, but man, they don't help themselves either, man, with the prices.
Yep.
Like you'll see a new game, $65 or something, and then on Amazon they have a deal for 35. Like I gotta do 35. Feel like
Hmm.
they just don't help themselves. So unfortunately,
Yep.
they don't learn. But I don't know. We're not here to talk about corporate North America,
Corporate
so
greed. Yeah.
there's enough of that in the news right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Shoot, what we got? So Joe is tonight. He's celebrating, I believe, Halloween Happy's birthday. So
Yes. Happy birthday,
happy
Sam.
birthday to her. Yep. Shout out to her. Happy birthday. Shout out to Mondo. His birthday is Saturday as well.
Oh my God, Brandon, Caleb, Scott. There's a bunch. Like
There's
it's
so
it's
many.
fucking ridiculous. Asa
Mhm.
just had a birthday recently. Like a bunch of people
Yep.
that we met at various events this year and everything like that. Yeah, all these fucking spring break babies are just popping out. It's crazy. So
We know what their parents did on Florida vacation.
yeah. Yeah,
That's funny.
I shouldn't talk. I'm a fucking holiday baby, so
Let's see. I'm a May baby, and my both my kids are. Well, my one's late April, my son's middle of May. So what
you're a Halloween
holiday?
baby, baby.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
They're watching Rocky Horror and fucking getting it on.
right. Good
All
times.
right, what we got in store tonight besides Maniac? Anything special?
No, just I guess what watch is all we could do.
Yeah,
We don't have our cup of Joe. We can't do trivia without Joe, so yeah, we just got some what watch and our review. It's going to be a pretty short one this week, which is fine. We're both
short and
crazy
sweet.
busy and
Yeah, the,
yeah.
the show must go on, huh? You know what
Yeah.
I've been thinking about though? Just to, I guess, get a little bit more content in this episode. I'm thinking of going back to Monorail next year, man, just for shits and giggles.
You know, it's crazy. I wasn't going to because I told like my wife on the way home like this was a cool one and done type of deal.
Yeah.
But then those motherfuckers announce a dead like reunion for night, day, dawn,
Oh
and
my God.
it's
So
like, God damn
shit.
it, how the fuck can I not go to that?
Yeah.
So I'm
I'm
thinking it depends. Like there's a lot of things that could influence my decision, but
for sure. Well, it's
yeah.
a little bit more of a hike for you. It's only about 4.5 hours for me.
But yeah, it's like it's a day.
Yeah. But I'm like 95% in at this point. Just for like,
Nice.
I don't know, man. It just feels good to be there at
It
that moment.
does. It's weird, eh? It's like
Yeah.
yeah, even though I've only been once. it feels like a familiar place, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I mean, those actors aren't going to get any younger at this point. So, I
No,
mean, we've already lost Tony Todd recently, of
and he
the
was young, man.
extend, yeah, 66, I think, or
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
60,
that's
yeah,
good.
mid 60s.
Mm.
You never know when it's gonna get you, dude.
No, exactly. Actually, tonight's star Joe Spinell also died pretty young, unfortunately. So that would have been a
I know,
cool
what,
guy to meet at a
55,
con.
right, or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh my,
I mean,
imagine.
look,
We'll
yeah,
get there.
not exactly the ideal body, and probably didn't make the best choices in his life.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. Did you watch In Search of Darkness, the '80s one?
Not the whole thing, just bits and
D
pieces.
did you see the one like the segment about Joe Spinell?
No, that sounds freaking amazing, though.
Yeah, I think it's in the third one because they were doing kind of obscure movies in the third one, and they're just like all the people who worked with him were talking about it. They're specifically focusing on the last horror film,
Okay.
and they're saying how like the way he looks and the way he was are two completely different things. Like he is the nicest, sweetest guy in the world, but he plays a fucking gross creep in all his movies. So yeah, I think he
Yeah.
would have been really cool, and also like apparently super smart. I mean, he wrote Maniac, which I
Did he really?
yeah, I totally didn't
I didn't do any
realize that
research on
until
Maniac.
I saw the like when they're doing the credits at the beginning. It was written by Joe Spinell. I'm like, damn, and
Oh,
story by Joe Spinell. So pretty awesome.
okay. That's nuts. I mean, testament to his acting ability then.
Yeah,
Because yeah, he
absolutely.
like you said, he does play. We'll get there. I don't want to spoil it all. He
Right.
does play a great creep though, so we'll leave it at that.
He does play a great creep.
All right. I guess I'll lead off. These are a little bit old. I haven't watched anything these past couple weeks, but I did have movie night with Brent and TJ a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
I talked about The Stepfather we watched already. Oh, we rewatched Blood Rage, alternate title, Nightmare at Shadow Woods, which we covered last November,
2 years ago. So
2 years ago.
we did Thanksgiving last year, and the year before was Blood Rage.
Got it, got it. Yeah, so Blood Rage basically these twins when they're younger that at a drive-in theater and one of the twins for no reason kills this dude with an axe and then frames his twin brother who gets sent away to the insane asylum for I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. His name's Todd, by the way, so that's cool. And then Todd and Terry, Todd breaks out of the insane asylum and he's in search of his family. And Terry's a little fucking asshole, dude. And he's conniving. He manipulates everyone. His mother's a fucking psycho. Blood Rage is dope, man. I love the effects in this one. It's really low budget and they're very effective. You can tell where they put their money at. I love the setting of like an apartment complex too, where it's like kind of nestled together in like the woods, things like that. And they do a lot of cool subtle things too. Like the mom, like I said, she's fucking weird. She's banging like the landlord, who's also weird. Terry like plays an excellent little creepy dude, Todd, and which I think they're the same actor playing him. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't know if they would get okay, cool. That'd be insane if they got
Right.
identical twins. But his acting range is good, man. He plays like a kind of like a scared killer very well, and then he plays Terry like the confident weirdo very well as well. Thanksgiving horror we don't get a lot of, so that's cool. That's refreshing. And the finale's freaking cool, man. The showdown, especially where you can tell like fuck, like how are we gonna film the two Todd and Terry fighting each other when it's the same damn actor. So you see like you can tell like a dark-haired man is wearing a blonde wig and so on and vice versa where they're fighting. It's really cool. It's really clever. I love seeing little indie horror things like how do you figure out a problem, which is what we're doing in our film right now. It's like how do you figure out problems? It's always fun. And yeah, so Blood Rage, aka Nightmare at Shadow Woods, I still give a solid 4 out of 5. Came out in my birth year, 1987. We watched on Blu-ray, but no, I don't think it's streaming anywhere. It might be on Amazon. Yep, you can purchase it to stream over on Amazon.
Nice. That's a good one. I enjoyed watching that, and what was one of the really the only Thanksgiving movies for a long time.
Right,
They've been popping up a little bit lately, but yeah, it cornered that market
for sure.
for a good amount of years. So my first one this week is a 2024 film that I watched over on Netflix, and it's called It's What's Inside. So this is a story of a group of friends who used to all hang out together. They used to be like college buddies and stuff like that. And the story takes place 8 years later. One of them is about to get married, so he invites them all over to his house to have kind of like a big reunion before the wedding. It's almost like his bachelor party in a way, but not really. There's no strippers or anything like that. It's really just a group of friends getting together. And they noticed that one friend who was kind of the weird friend that they had in the group didn't show up, and they're kind of wondering like what happened to him. There was an incident that happened at a party like 8 years back, and they had speculation about what happened to him, but they weren't sure because he kind of just disappeared from the group. So they start partying and stuff like that, and sure enough, the weird friend shows up. Everyone's kind of surprised, and he has a case with him. So he says, "Hey, everyone, you want to play a game?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, let's play a game." So he takes out the case, and it's these kind of these little things you put on the side of your head, and they all get in a circle, and they all have these things on their head. He switches the machine on, and people switch bodies, so their minds get downloaded from one body to another, which freaks people out. And the game is that you have to figure out which body it goes to which person. And once the game is over and you figure everyone out, he switches it back and you go back to your body. So they do that. Everyone's fucking tripped out and stuff like that. And then people want to play again because they're like, it was weird the first time, but now they're getting used to it. And that brings in all sorts of weird dynamics. People start pretending to be other people. No one's sure who's who. And that's where kind of the story, it really has the meat and potatoes. So this was a trip, man. This was a really crazy film. It's a wild ride with twists and turns that are constant, like almost to the point where I think there are too many of them. But I will say this fucking film is a masterclass in editing techniques and cinematography. Like the guy who wrote, directed, edited this thing, it's all the same guy is a fucking genius, honestly. He's so fucking good at his craft. And the story is super, super complex because there are so many characters, they switch bodies. Sometimes you're not sure like who's who, but he does the best job he could to kind of reel it in and make you figure out like who's who. He has like this camera technique that he uses to sometimes kind of show you who the person inside is, and it's really interesting. It was a fun movie. It's not super horror. It's more like psychological horror than it is, physical horror, although there are a couple pretty gnarly deaths in it. I would recommend checking it out. It's not quite a top 10 film for me for this year, but I'm very happy I watched it. So it's What's Inside over on Netflix. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5.
Sounds pretty neat.
Yeah, it's cool. Honestly, I'd recommend watching it just to see the editing techniques and stuff. It's pretty impressive. He uses all sorts of techniques too. Like it's very advanced stuff. I enjoyed it just on that level alone. It's worth watching.
Very cool. All right. My next one for movie night is the movie S as a Snake Hisses. This is from 1973. This one is not streaming either. Damn, what the fuck? I watched this on Blu-ray from Scream Factory, and this is my second time. I watched it maybe 10 plus years ago. And if you guys, for the original Battlestar Galactica fans, you got Dirk Benedict who played what's his name? Starbuck in the original show. He's also in A-Team and all that stuff. But anyway, he plays this younger, kind of like college guy, undergraduate program, whatever, inside some kind of like animal class or some shit. And he's got a professor that is like really into reptiles, whatever, and he invites him over to his farm slash research lab to like help him research, right? And it turns out, and this isn't like it's 1973, man. I gotta spoil it. He's turning people into fucking snakes, all right? So the doctor is turning people into snakes, and each of his research students mysteriously disappears, and no one can fucking put two and two together that, hey, every time this young dude goes over to this guy's house, they fucking go missing. Like maybe we should like think he's murdering. No, he's cool. He's a reptile guy. He's kooky, but he's not a murderer. He's a fucking murderer, dude. He's turning these guys into snakes. I loved it 10 years ago or so when I watched it. This time I thought it was just average. I'm sitting at a 3 out of 5. It's kooky, man. And I do appreciate the original concept. Like, hey, this guy's turning people into snakes. Why? Which I don't ever understand this in sci-fi or horror, whatever it is. Like, we're trying to create the perfect specimen. Really, the perfect specimen to you is a man-sized snake. Like really, like that's the perfect beast. Same thing like Alien and shit. Like, oh, the xenomorphs are the perfect specimen. Why? They're fucking because they have like acid blood that makes zero sense to me. Like, why would you want that to happen? But anyway, same thing. He's trying to make a perfect specimen for some damn reason. And it's hilarious too because they foreshadow this the whole movie where they show a mongoose getting really mad because they have a mongoose in his lab. I'm like, that mongoose could kill that fucking snake, dude. And he finally turns this dude into a snake. And like it's the first like actual successful one. Like they had like, freaks and shit in the past that kind of made it and they just sold them to circuses and stuff. But this one actually succeeds and it's just a normal fucking snake. That's what they did. So I'm like, oh, it's a normal snake, cool. And then the mongoose breaks out and kills his ass, dude. So I'm like, oh my God, he finally succeeded. And the mongoose just like, nope, he fucking kills him. And then, yeah, he had a love interest, and there's bumbling detectives and things like that. But terrible fucking name. You can't say that with a straight face. Like, no one's gonna say like, "Hey, let's go watch S." See, it doesn't work. 3 out of 5. You can purchase it on Amazon, but they also have a Scream Factory Blu-ray for like $10 or something.
Yeah, sounds fun. Definitely.
Yeah,
If
it's
ever
goofy.
goes streaming, I'll definitely check it
There you
out.
go.
So my next one is another 2024 film that I also watched on Netflix, and that is Time Cut. Todd, have you ever seen Totally Killer from last year or the year before?
Is that the one where Vince Vaughn?
No, no, that's what is that one? That's a good one though.
Oh, I don't know then.
That's Freaky. Is that
Oh,
what you're
freaky.
talking? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So basically, Totally Killer was a movie about a girl that goes back in time to like stop a serial killer from killing her mom or something like that. So basically, this movie felt like they took Totally Killer, put it into an AI program, and said, "Make the lamest version of this movie possible," and this is what it spat out. It's fucking bad. It's so bad. The writing is awful. The acting is not that great. The characters aren't that fun. The ending is dumb as shit. Like this is really, really bad. But at the same time, I'm really a fucking like stan for out of time movies. Like I love when they go back in time and kind of play with, oh, look, we don't have these things anymore, or look, we have these things now and you guys didn't, and that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I just love that kind of stuff. So I probably rated it higher than it should be. The story, I didn't even say what the story was. That's how bad it is. It's basically a girl who goes back in time to stop a serial killer that killed her sister. And then when she gets back in time, she realizes that her parents never intended to have a second child. The only reason they did is because they lost their first child. So there's like a time paradox where if she saves her sister, then they'll never have a second child. So she'll never be born and will probably disappear like Marty McFly. And that's kind of like the what she's working on in the film. And the gist of the story is that her trying to stop the serial killer while trying to figure out like what to do. Yeah, so I honestly wouldn't recommend it. Totally Killer wasn't even that great. Like I think I gave it a 3.5 stars out of 5 last year, but it is vastly superior to this. I still give it 2.5 stars though because of the out of time story, but you could do much better than this film. So that's Time Cut over on Netflix.
Yeah, I heard this one sucked, and 132,000 people agreed with you. Letterbox gives it a 2 out of 5 there. I'm with you though. I love time travel films. There's just something special about it. Don't they go back to like 1995 or something in this movie?
No, it's like 2001 or 3 or something like.
What?
But
That is,
if you think about it, like I was thinking about this, so Marty goes back 30 years.
yeah, from
This
85
mo
to 55, right?
Yeah, so this movie only goes back 20 years, but 20
Jeez.
years is fucking 2004, you know? So
I don't know.
yeah, it's crazy.
I guess it's not weird to us, but to a 15-year-old, right? It would be weird, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that she's like kind of surprised about, I guess. Like the music and the way people dress. It's weird because, I mean, this movie takes place when I was at the end of my college days, and she dresses in a way that people like say that she stands out. Like, no one dresses that way. But honestly, in my college anyway, no one would have fucking noticed. She's not dressed like a fucking futuristic, like fucking spandex or anything like that. It was a pretty normal like way people dress. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was
I'm
weird.
looking at the still from Letterboxd, and she looks like she would fit in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's not like a crazy
Yeah.
dress where people are like, "Oh my God!" Like obviously you're a time traveler,
It's not like Marty where he's wearing his life preserver.
Right.
What? In the Coast Guard?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I was watching a thing about Back to the Future the other day, just to go on a little tangent, where the whole Chuck Berry paradox
Yeah.
is basically if you haven't seen Back to the Future, which goddamn, what the
What's wrong
fuck you
with you?
doing? Yeah, seriously. So basically, when Marty is in the past, he plays Johnny B. Bad, and like Chuck Berry's cousin or brother calls Chuck Berry and is like, "Hey, you got to listen to this."
This
And
is your cousin, Marvin.
yeah, that's right. And from that, he was able to write the song.
Hmm.
But Marty heard the song. That's how he knew it. So there's a time paradox. Like, if Marty didn't go back to the past to teach him the song, how did he know the song for Marty to know it? And, so it's like a time
Yeah,
loop.
Marty always went back in the past because he had to
Right.
teach him that song. That's
Exactly. So,
why Paradox will fucking melt your mind, dude, if you think about
yeah.
him.
No, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why they say don't go back in time. Don't fuck with time
You
travel.
know you would. I would.
No. Yeah. I got one more since we
I
have.
got one more too.
All right, pray, go ahead.
Let's talk about How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey, the year 2000. That
Yes,
is a frightening movie, man.
it is.
If you take it like just what it is, I mean Jim Carrey obviously a genius, a
Hmm.
comedic genius. But like holy shit, if I'm a kid watching that movie, I would be freaking the fuck out because it's so amazing the makeup effects that they did for him. And of course with Jim playing it the way he does, it's so animated. Like gosh damn, hats
Hmm.
off to Ron Howard and crew for making that movie what it is.
Yeah, there's a scene early in the movie where Cindy Lou, I think she's at the mail center or something, or at the post office, and he's like in the corner, almost like a spider, like
Yeah,
yeah,
he's in the
fucking
ceiling.
super freaky, like the same way that she is like hereditary, you know?
Exactly. It's weird. I mean, none of us have seen the mean one yet, but like it's ripe for horror adaptation because it's not, you don't even have to try. This guy is fucking terrifying. He's a green monster
Mhm.
that hates people that are happy and he just put a knife in his hand. There you go. So How the Grinch Stole Christmas is 4 out of 5, but holy shit, that's a fucking scary movie if you just look at it. Like this guy's living in the mountains and no one's gonna go up there like send a hunting party or something to take him
Right?
out. Like Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, that's a it's a thing in media where people like creepy people live up in the mountain and no one
Yeah.
fucks with them, you know?
Like Beast, dude. I said
Yeah,
this before. Gaston's not wrong.
yeah.
I know all the misogynist stuff, absolutely. But as far as
Right.
like a werewolf living in the fucking castle,
Hmm.
we need to kill that werewolf, y'all. Like it's not Gaston's right. Let's get the people. Let's go up there. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
some weird shit going on.
Dracula,
Yeah,
Dr. Frankenstein, Edward Scissorhands, like there's so many fucking monsters in the castle
that's true.
stories. It's yeah, it's
I
pretty
gotta watch
crazy.
Edward I think I'm gonna do Edward Scissorhands and Krampus for my Christmas horror
Hmm.
movies, besides the ones we're covering.
Right, yeah, that's a good choice. We got to cover that one day. Edward Scissorhands.
Edward, yeah.
It's like borderline horror, but it's
It's close enough.
it's got Vincent Price in it. So
Yeah.
one day we'll get to it. So my last one is another 2024 film that I watched over on Tubi called Meth Gator, also known as Attack of the Meth Gator if you're looking on Letterboxd. So the story, very simple, is a group of guys. They're like they're dealing meth essentially, like these giant bags of them, and the cops find them and they get chased into the swamp. One guy drops a bag of meth, and the gator swallows it up and then becomes Super Gator basically, and he basically goes after everybody who has meth in that island. They live on an island. The cops are trying to stop him, and then they figure out that the gator is going to be so hooked to meth that that's what he's going to try to find. So they try to find the meth lab to stop it because that's what's going to stop the gator from killing everybody. Very, very basic kind of, animal on drugs, which we've seen a ton of. But I will say, of all the ones I've seen, this is probably the best one. Like they have some fucking awesome kills. The gator surprisingly doesn't look that bad, for a low budget movie. The characters actually do a good job. It's not like horrible writing or anything like that. I had a lot of fun watching it. It's a little goofy at times. Like they have a fucking slap fight at one point for no reason. It kind of stalls the movie for in the middle of it. Like, okay, let's have a slap competition, which I think is the dumbest fucking sport ever. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. And yeah, it was fun. And there's definitely some like low budget issues. Like at one point, they're on like on a wire in the air, but they get attacked, and you could see the wire like coming up from like the little mechanism coming up from the wire, which would be impossible if your weight is pulling down on it, like things like that. But you could do it way worse than this film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't go out of my way to recommend it or anything, but if you want to see a cool, animal on drugs film, I would recommend this over Cocaine Bear or Cocaine Shark or was it Cocaine Coon, I think is one out there. So that's Attack of the Meth Gator or just Meth Gator over on Tubi. I gave it 2.5 stars out of five.
That's a genre that I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think there's going to be. I think this is
It's
pretty much
dying
the
out.
end of them. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is all like made around the same time. So the ones who started what 3 years ago, I guess.
I
But
know we
yeah,
do have Stoner State coming up, produced by a friend
that's
of the show, which
that's
we'll
true.
be covering.
Hey, I'm a producer on that.
So you
Associate
are, huh?
associate producer, I think. Yeah,
That's
and not
awesome.
not to mention we're going to review on the show because that was one
Yeah.
of the perks that was purchased. So.
So yeah.
So I guess we will watch another
Yeah.
animal on drugs movie.
I fucking love funding stuff on Indiegogo,
Oh,
man.
me
It's
too.
so much fun. Especially
Yeah.
like when I look at my IMDb profile, I'm like Alien, Amityville Karens and
Yeah.
shit like that. Or no, I was a producer on Amityville Aliens, I believe. I think you watched Karens though. I thought
I
you did.
did. Yeah, I know I did. Yeah, I did I watch it on I feel like I may have watched it on a movie night. I don't remember. We
That's
did so
funny.
many. It was fucking awful. I honestly I haven't seen a single Amityville film that I liked so far. I
Even
saw
the first one?
Amityville. No, I mean like outside the
Oh,
actual
okay.
series. I mean all the like kind of spin-off ones there. I haven't seen a single one that I liked. No, not even
Yeah.
Death Toilet or Christmas or Karen's or like Thanksgiving or none of them.
I
Just
mean, there's obviously an audience for them
yeah,
somewhere,
I don't. I
somewhere
mean,
out there.
fuck. Fangoria had its own category as an award, as best
Oh
Amityville
gosh,
film. Remember? That's how
that was
the
pretty
dude
funny.
from what's that movie that we would like so much? Not Killer Prenata, the other one. Carousel.
Carousel.
Yeah, that's how the director of Carousel got his Fangoria award was for
Gosh, dude.
Amityville Christmas, which was fucking awful.
Maybe we fucked up. We should have done an Amityville movie instead
Yeah,
of
maybe. Yeah.
Damn it.
Next time. Next one.
The Road to Fangoria award is.
Right.
You want to? Well, I guess while we're on it, is there any movie update for our film that you're going
Yeah,
working on?
I'm almost done recording the audio for the trailer.
Nice.
I'm starting to do the video within the video of of the trailer
Sweet.
because the trailer has someone watching a video and I have to edit the video in the video.
That's sick.
So that's what I'm doing now, and I think I just don't have time before Christmas, but during Christmas break, I'm gonna film the actual trailer and have it hopefully out for like New Year's Day-ish
That's
or
cool.
right after. So yeah. What about you?
I'm so excited for it. What about your specific? Um,
I'm gonna start right after New Year's, probably right after I'm done the trailer.
Very cool.
I started getting like some of my lights and props and stuff like that. I'm gonna work on some of the specific props, like for my role during the holidays, and I'm really really looking forward to it.
Which, if you want to go on Indiegogo slash the final episode, you can get some of those props that Steve is creating,
Mhm.
which I cannot wait to see Killer Spatula.
No, it's coming. Yeah, that'll be probably one of the first ones that you'll see. This killer spatula. I actually
Yeah.
sewed on the shower cap to the shark mask
Oh,
to see what it'll look like.
that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
but when I went on vacation, every day they'd put a shower cap in my room, so I took one
That's
so
fun.
I can have multiple tests and stuff.
Yeah, as
That's
far as
low budget indie making. I'm
you
like taking a
guys
fucking free shower cap from the hotel.
gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yep.
As far as special delivery, no filming updates since last time. We're still about 40% done. I have all this footage just sitting in my hard drive waiting to be edited, but just fucking move. I didn't be able to sit down and do it, but oh gosh, I just cannot wait for that trailer to come out for me to be able to edit this film. Because we're shooting it mostly in order, so it's going to be like, sometimes with filmmaking you shoot out of order, but fuck that. We're doing it in
Yeah.
order. So we're up to the point where the mailman's going to start his revenge, man. So I'm excited to get in the meat of the story. We filmed his death, which is a lot of fun. So I can't wait to see how it looked on film. And of course, with editing, you might need to go back and shoot some stuff. I need to get, you know, time to edit. But other than that, yeah, we're still on track to release next year. So
Yeah, I
sweet.
hope so. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of work, but it'll be very rewarding when we get to all watch it together and a
Yeah, it's gonna
premiere
be good.
somewhere or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe virtual premiere with everyone. That'd be fun.
And also, just a quick little Discord shout out to our fantasy football group. The
Oh yeah.
season just ended, and I just want to say it's a lot of fun. Like, I don't even watch football, but I have a lot of fun doing the pool with everyone. It's just a lot of great conversations and stuff like that. So, if you want to join on that next year, just join our Discord. It's absolutely free, and we'll give you a spot. So,
Yeah, we only have eight teams, max of 12, so we have room to grow. And the only kick is you have to name your team something horror related. So for example, Steve is the Springwood Nightmares, I'm the Crystal Lake Slashers, and we got Santa Carla Vamps and so on and so on. So come on in, man. We're playing. It's fun.
yep.
All right. So getting into Maniac from 1980, directed by William Lustig, who did a lot of Maniac themed films, a lot of Maniac cops and things in there. Like you heard earlier, written by Joe Spinell, also starring Joe Spinell. And basically, we follow Frank Zito, and he's like this recluse, man. He's this like older, not older gentleman, what do you want to say? Maybe 40, something
Yeah,
around there.
unfortunately, yes, I think he's sporting.
Okay.
Oh, God damn
Sorry.
it.
All right, Steve, we follow Steve-aged man as he creeps around New York. He lives in like this little studio apartment, and he shares his bed with like mannequins and shit. He has a shrine to his mother who passed away, according to him, via car accident, which he tells Carmen, this girl he runs into. She's a photographer and she's young and hot. For some reason has interest in Frank. I don't know. But we immediately start off with this camera POV, and we hear groaning as a couple is chilling on the beach. You know it's fucking cold out there on the beach, guys. Let's not pretend this is summertime. It's not. But they're out there chilling on the beach, hanging out, and then they get brutally murdered. And then we cut to fucking sweaty as fuck, greasy as hell, Frank Zito, played by, like I said, Joe Spinell. And he's just hanging out, man. He's just living the dream. He's killing people. He's scalping women. He's putting the scalps on his mannequins at home, collecting them, putting them in weird poses, putting them in bed. He talks to them. He says, like, hey, I warned you not to go out tonight. This is what fucking happens, right? And it turns out he has some serious fucking mental health issues, to say the least. The city of New York is on edge because um, they all know that there's some serial killer out there targeting women and men and all things. We got Tom Savini is doing the special effects. He also plays a character in it. It's fucking legit. Savini did the effects, right? I'm not speaking out of
Yeah,
my
there's
ass.
no way he didn't do that fucking
Okay.
headshot.
Yeah, which is, gosh, that headshot's fucking cool. We'll get there though.
Hmm.
And yeah, he meets a female, Carmen, and you know what? She might just turn his life around, man. He starts acting normal. He pretends to be like a legit guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking painter. I paint abstract art." And she's like, "I love to see it." And he's like, "Yeah." They never fucking touch it again. Like,
Yeah.
really? You're not gonna fucking act, you're an artist, the girl. And we even have like this stupid long drawn out scene where she's shooting these actresses to like the most annoying song of all time. And like, we're not gonna bring up again that he's an artist. You're not gonna come to his house and hang out and see his paints. Nope. He's just fucking gonna sweat all over the place. But yeah, he can't be normal. He's the maniac. I love this movie, man. I fucking love it. Joe Spinell is a gem. He plays a great horror actor. His character work is fucking phenomenal. The writing's good. Is there stuff that like drags on? Yeah, of course there is. Like he picks up a hooker one time and they're like making out in the bed, and that goes on way too long. Like just fucking kill her already, dude. Like we don't need to see you fucking moaning and groaning, Frank. But overall, dude, I think it is super sleazy. The city looks great. The acting's pretty damn good. The kills are fucking cool. And I love this film. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not as high on it, honestly, but I love Joe Spinell. Joe Spinell, he just looks like insane. He's got just a crazy look. The scene where he's choking out the sex worker, like, oh my God, the way his eyes like bulge out and he's sweating all over the place, and yeah, like you don't know if that's his like killer face or his O face, but it's
It's
wild, man.
both.
Yeah, it's probably both.
Can I stop you
Uh,
there?
yep.
Do we think Frank is impotent? Is that the word where you can't get a boner? Do you?
I don't think it's impotence. I don't think he can't get a boner. I think it's just not what he's into. you know.
Because she was rubbing on him, the sex
Yeah,
worker. She's
but
like, "Oh, it's okay, baby.
th
We'll figure it out."
there's a whole sequence where he just goes through New York City and looks at mannequins in the windows, and you can hear him like fucking breathing. Like that was horny breathing. That wasn't like just, I walked 20 feet. It was like exactly, yeah, right. So I think he's just horny for mannequins. He's not horny for women. So I think he can get a
Okay.
boner. It just doesn't with a sex worker, right? Which the biggest travesty in this film is that we never found out what the ultimate was.
Damn it, Steve! I have that exact line written down.
Right? I mean, come on. They have a whole scene where they're like talking about the ultimate, and then she meets him, and it's like, you want the ultimate, and they never fucking pay it off, and it's like, God damn
Never.
it.
I wonder, is it everything you want? Was she like doing his homework for him? Like, I don't know.
You know what? I really don't know what the ultimate is. I guess it would be whatever he wants, but there's got to be limits to even that, you know?
So get this, dude. I did the math, and she charged him $100, right? And I'm assuming
Yeah.
this is filmed in 1979.
Mhm.
So we'll call it 1979 80. That's a 334 increase in percentage. That costs $434 today, dude. That
Yeah.
motherfucker was
Plus
gonna
the
drop
room.
almost, yeah, what, $25, 35?
35, yeah, because
It's
he
almost
added the TV.
why?
Why? Who knows?
It's almost $500 for the ultimate. I want to know what the fucking ultimate gets you, dude. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's fucking crazy. And I don't really understand like how he picks his targets because at first I thought, okay, he's just kind of picking whatever woman he comes across because like the sex worker, she stops him. He doesn't, kind of solicit her. She's just working the streets and stops him and it's like, hey, you want to have a good time? But he also like straight up stalks the woman that is with Tom Savini, and it seems like that's a riskier kill. It wasn't like an easy grab or an easy kill. So I'm really curious as to how he picks his women. Like, is it he just likes their hair and he stalks them, or like with the sex worker, he kind of stopped and is like, okay, well, she's got good hair, so I'll try to do that. What do you think?
I don't know. You're right though. Tom Savini is like a fit dude. Like you're running the risk of getting your ass beat. I
Yeah,
mean,
and he had
obviously
to
he has the
drive all the way
shotgun,
there, and it wasn't like an easy thing, right?
right? So they don't really dive into that because is he? I mean, he tries to murder Carmen at the end there, but like I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason. He just picks women because they have hair, I guess, so he can put them on their mannequin.
Yeah, but then he also risks himself even more by going after like one of the other models. So
That's true. That
yeah,
he just met and had a bunch of witnesses know him well.
right?
He's
Yeah.
not the smartest Frank guy, you know.
No, no, he definitely isn't. He's also got like some serious mommy issues,
Oh yeah.
which they don't really delve into all that much. I guess you just okay, he screams for mommy, so he has mommy issues. That's
So
I guess that's one of my issues with the film is that they introduce a lot of cool elements that don't really like go far enough. Yeah.
so did he kill his mother or did he witness her getting killed by a prostitute buyer guy, the John or whatever? Because she's a prostitute, right?
Yeah, I think she was. I'm not 100% sure though. They
Because he
don't.
was in the closet when she was getting railed.
Right.
But I didn't like. I guess it can go either way. From what I saw, is like either he killed her for revenge because he's like, I told you not to go out tonight, or she went out and was murdered and he watched from the
Yeah, but he
closet.
seems to have a lot of guilt about
It's true.
her passing because her zombie comes out fucking randomly at one
Yeah.
point, which to me expressed like some kind of personal guilt about how she died. But that could have been because he didn't stop the killer, or it could have been because he killed her himself. I'm not sure. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think of
Um,
the whole subway slash, I guess, nurse scene? Like, I don't know, you probably noticed this too, but in the subway, there's nobody. And then they show a shot of this, like the subway train going away, and there's a ton of people in the subway station, and then it pulls away, and then there's nobody again.
yeah, it
Like,
was very strange that city was just empty at that time.
but have you noticed that in films a lot where girls go down to the subway station, there's never anyone there? Have you ever been to a
Yeah,
subway station? Like, there's never
I have.
ever, it's never ever empty.
Yeah, there's always people there, especially at night. Like
Yeah.
party people, especially in New York. You would
Yeah,
think
which
it'd be super
fuck for
crowded.
sure, right?
But I liked it. It went on a little too long though. Like
Mm,
they could have cut like I think like 3 minutes out of there because he was just like
yeah.
following her. Like, where are you gonna go, lady? Just fucking don't hide. Keep going. But I don't know. It was weird. Like these little characters had mini backstories that we never dived into. Like the
Hmm.
prostitutes were talking for like 3 minutes. Her and her nurse friend were talking for like a few minutes, and then they just get killed off.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, there's definitely some weird shit in this movie. Even at the end, there's kind of a weird moment when they do finally find, Frank, and he's dead in the bed. And this is a killer that they've been trying to get for a long, long time. They see him dead in the bed, are like, "Oh, okay, cool," and they walk out the door. They don't they don't
Yeah,
check his body. They don't check if he's dead, actually dead. They just, hey,
yeah.
he's
I did not understand that part at all. Like
fine.
they ran in, guns drawn, and they're like, oh well, case closed.
Right? And just walk out, close the door behind
Like,
them,
what if
walk
there's
out.
victims alive in here? Like we did
Oh,
it. We solved the murder.
yeah. Although good for us for doing a Christmas movie this week when unexpectedly.
Oh yeah.
So I was like,
Let's
okay,
see. Let's see. I got notes. Some notes here. Tom Savini's head explosion, I think,
okay,
is one of the best
ever.
ever.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah, looks
Holy
real.
shit, man! It's fucking brutal.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's almost out of place how brutal it is because none of the other kills are that brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that's a fucking insane headshot.
yeah. And shout out to Tom Savini for looking exactly the same from 1980 to
Right?
now. I'm like, holy shit, Tom, you fucking aged very well, dude.
Yeah, and he found a look in the fucking 70s, and he's like, I
He's
am
stuck with
sticking
it.
to this look,
Yeah.
yeah, for the rest of time.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good too. He's trying to bang that chick, and she's like, no, and he's like, fuck, all right, and then he gets his head blown off.
I always liked Tom Savini. I like his
Me too.
acting. I always thought it was pretty good and maybe underrated because
Yeah,
people obviously know him for his makeup, but he's good. Like you watch him in, well, obviously Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that, but
yeah. Martin, he's in
Night
that.
Riders. He plays a
Night
pretty big
Riders. Yeah,
role, and he's pretty good
yeah.
in
He's
that.
he's the new king.
He is. Yeah.
Um, let's see. We talked about his Frank mom. How did she really die? There's no fucking way Carmen goes. What is Carmen's story? Does she really like him?
Yeah, I guess, right? Because she does
Why?
go on a date with him.
She hangs
Uh,
out with him all the time.
yeah, it's I don't know. I guess
She's
she's
not.
just
She's attractive, like,
she's yeah,
and
she's
successful.
but he's also very different when he's around her. He's very confident. He's very
That's true.
his flirting needs a little work, but it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she sees honestly, but some people they just
I
somehow
guess.
can bat above their average,
So, ladies, is it a turn off if you're on a date with a guy and he's like, "Yeah, my mother passed away. Here's her picture." At dinner, like the first date, you're like, "What the fuck,
Yeah, right.
Frank? Come on."
Hmm. Yeah, can we
Um.
talk about his room? Like how
Oh
fucking
gosh,
disturbing his room is with all the dolls and it looks like a fucking 9-year-old girl's room. It's weird. It's
it is
very
very
off-putting.
strange. It's. I bet it smells like just fucking asshole because
Are
there's
you
no
kidding me?
shower in there.
Right?
And
It's
where did he
true.
shit? I didn't see a toilet.
Yeah, there must have been a bucket somewhere in
Like,
there or
well,
something,
he's shitting out on the doorstep.
Hmm.
And he's like the worst serial killer. Like when he walks into his house, he's like, "Hey, Mr. Zito." Like, who's that?
Right?
Like everyone knows who this fucking guy is.
Yeah. Uh,
What's
it,
he do for work? Does he just live off the government?
I guess so. They don't again, they don't really explain a whole lot. It's this whole movie is basically he's in his apartment, he's weird, he gets stressed, he goes outside, kills someone, he comes back to his apartment, scalp with the scalp in hand, puts on a mannequin, wakes up, weird, goes back out. It's like rinse and repeat the whole movie. It's
Yeah.
like there's not much of a actual plot. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's lacking in that
Um,
area, but and the scalping is oh god, I hate scalping. It's so gross. It's
oh yeah.
and they do a good job of I guess if Tom Savini did the effects, it kind of makes sense, but it looks pretty gruesome.
So how do you feel about I mean, Carmen gets away, obviously. He tries to kill her in the cemetery when they're visiting his mother. She tells the
Right.
cops. And then he like finally fucking snaps, right? His psyche goes and he imagines all of his mannequin girlfriends ripping him apart and killing him, all his victims.
Yeah,
I love that fucking sequence. I think it looks
that's a great
super cool.
sequence. Yeah, absolutely. Even the zombie mom like was
Oh yeah.
pretty cool just because. why not? You know,
Hmm.
yeah, it's cool. It's like his inner demons,
Hmm.
catching up to him essentially, and they really dismember him like just
Oh
fucking
yeah, rip his
insanely.
fucking head off too.
So, are we to
Um,
assume he killed himself?
I think
Then,
so. I was going
yeah,
to
it's
ask you that.
right. It has to be right. That's like his inner demons won, and but he didn't because it was like across his chest, kind of, right?
It was in his stomach, I thought.
Yeah, that's a
It's a brutal
not a whole
place to
lot of
put.
people, off themselves through their stomach. Um,
Do we think he was like hallucinating and he just
but he's
carried
also
out the
not dead.
actions? True. But do we think he carried out the actions as the female and stabbed himself on accident, perhaps?
Oh, it's
Like his
possible.
because his eye opens essentially at the end doing a little wink to the camera.
All right.
So, I'm not dead, motherfuckers, but yeah, I mean, I don't I
Mm,
don't think he killed himself. I think he was
he's like imagining
acting,
himself.
yeah, like Fight Club, what he's actually doing everything that's happening.
Right. That's it's very possible.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we never got the true sequel to this movie that he was writing because he passed away.
No, which movie is it that passes itself as Maniac 2?
The last horror movie, I believe,
Oh, is it?
is passes itself a Maniac too because it has Joe Spinell in it,
Right.
but it has nothing to do with Frank Zito though.
Hmm.
So like, I read that he was writing a Frank Zito sequel, but
Okay.
like he passed in what 50, he was 55-ish or something.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't. Well, he died like early 90s, I think. So,
Let's look it up.
died
He
in
deserves
'89. So,
80. Wow,
yeah.
that sucks, man. He's fucking legit.
No, yes, yeah, exactly. It's sweet. I mean, he was in some fucking. He was in the Rocky series and the Godfather series. He's been in some legit shit too. Yeah,
He
it's too
he
bad.
he died of strangulation, which
Oh,
is the
really?
loss of blood from the circulatory system of a vertebrae, usually leading to death. How the fuck did that
Oh,
happen?
on IMDb it says heart attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, on
52.
on Google it says strangulation. So
Weird.
he died. Short story, but
Yep.
dang, 52 years old, man. It's too young. Plus, it would have been amazing to meet him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's the first thing you think of other than Maniac when you think Joe Spinell?
Um, Honestly, I'm not trying to be mean, but like his face,
Right.
his look, like the sweaty greasiness.
Hmm.
But other than Maniac, I guess you got to go Undertaker at this point.
For horror, yeah, probably. I mean, for me, it's definitely Rocky because he plays
I
a
don't
pretty.
remember him, Rocky, man.
He's the main gangster in the first two, like the one who hires Rocky as an enforcer.
Does he have a big part? Like
Yeah,
it's been a while since I saw those.
especially in the first one, because he plays Gazzo. He's the guy who like hires Rocky to be like to beat up people for him. So
Oh,
Rocky's constantly like paying him, and he keeps giving. He's the one who gives money to Rocky to go on his first date, and
that's cool.
he's at his wedding in Rocky 2. Yeah, he's got a pretty big role in that series.
Well, it looks like there's a 2001 49-minute The Joe Spinell story,
Hmm.
the life and career of Joe Spinell, a great man, a great actor, friend and all. But I have no idea where you can watch the damn thing.
Yeah, figures. Probably YouTube is probably the best way. Have you
Yeah,
seen the remake with Elijah Wood?
yeah, I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's actually one of the like really
We
good
didn't cover
remakes.
that. I could have sworn we
That
covered
not
that.
not as the Horror Squad
As
anyway. So maybe
okay,
that's one day we'll
maybe.
have to pick up because it's
I think
definitely.
it's really good.
I agree. I haven't seen it since oh god, maybe since it first came out. Was that early 2010s?
2012-ish, something like that.
Yeah. So I watched it when it first came out. I probably have the DVD actually because I don't know where else I would have seen it. So yeah, it's a good one. Definitely due for a rewatch on that one.
Yeah, just try to look at Joe Spinell story on Letterboxd where they have nothing listed to watch it in. So
Mhm.
I'll find it.
Yeah. And yeah, people should check out The Undertaker. It's a fucking weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mani
it's
the last horror film which we talked about maybe covering instead of Maniac, it's got its moment. At the end of the day, it's got Joe Spinell in it,
right,
and
exactly.
that's the selling factor because he's legit.
Yep. Yeah, he just
Hmm.
has such a
It's
unique
got
look, you know?
like a charm.
Yeah, 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 it's weird, eh? It's like
You know
yeah,
what? Carmen
there's
isn't wrong.
right, yeah, exactly.
I'm
Justice
falling
for
for him.
Carmen. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder what she did. What do you think happened with her life after she survived the assault? Just went back to fucking taking pictures.
Probably back to modeling, basically, right?
She's like,
Like,
well, all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of creeps in the modeling industry, so I'm sure this is just one more in the long line of weirdo creeps that she's met in her life.
True, true.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we rate it?
No, it's not that deep of a film, unfortunately, so there's not a
Mm-mm.
ton to talk about.
That's the problem
But
with slashers. Like I can absolutely love a slasher, but there's not a lot to unpack.
yeah, well, this one especially because it's very light on actual story.
Hmm.
It's more just a series of gruesome kills that are enacted by this maniac. So
Yep, go for it. Because I think I'm gonna be
yeah, you'll
the friend
definitely be
opinion.
higher than me. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoy it, and Joe Spinell is definitely like a huge reason for that. That and the effects, I would say, are the two things that really stand out in this one. It's just there's a lack of story. There's some interesting things that they introduce and just never follow through with. And it drags on at times. Unfortunately, it just even though it's not that long of a film, I think it's an hour 30. It just somehow feels a bit long at times. So 3 out of 5. I enjoy it, and I'd probably rewatch it again at some point, but not like one of my favorites or anything.
All right. I love this movie. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5. I love slashers. Next to zombies, it's my favorite genre.
And
The
you
the
got both in
post,
this. So,
yeah, yeah. The poster is amazing. Looks nothing like Joe Spinell though. The tagline, "I warned you not to go out tonight," is fucking legit. Joe Spinell is just amazing, like we talked about. Tom Savini is always a treat to see him. His effect work is top notch as always. I can see why people don't like it though, and I can see where it definitely needed to be edited down and trimmed a little bit. It would have been so cool to see a sequel though, like a true sequel to this. I think they would have
agreed.
probably approved upon the whole thing. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm at 4.5 out of 5. For the physical collectors out there, Blue Underground has a really cool 3 disc version of this you can grab. Otherwise, I don't. Oh, it's on Tubi streaming too for the United States out here. And you watch DVD or were you Tubi?
No, I actually own it. So,
Oh, cool.
but and it was actually on Shutter, and it left Shutter on December 1st. So I went to watch it. I'm like, oh fuck, it's not here anymore. So yeah, thank God I had it
Lucky.
as the DVD. So
Physical collector for the win again.
yep,
We're not going anywhere, people.
that's right.
Our buddies over at Letterbox are closer to you, though. They're at a 3.4 out of 5, which is pretty high for a slasher still. So,
Yeah, very much so.
William Lustig coming through with the Maniac titles.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, what do we got next week?
All right. So next week we're going to do our annual Christmas episode, and this year we're going to do Christmas Evil, which you can
Nice.
find over on Tubi. Yeah. So I
I've never
think
seen it.
no, me neither. So I'm really looking
Sweet.
forward to it. It's one I saw also on the In Search of Darkness documentary. So looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun one to do.
Very cool. Meanwhile, if you want to connect with the show, you can hit us up on our Discord. Just reach out to Steve, myself, or Joe. We'll get you that link. A lot of fun activities going on there. We got fantasy football, we got book reading groups, we got movie nights, which Steve hosts monthly, which are always a fun fucking blast. It's just a lot of solid people to hang out with. You can email us at horsewildpodcast@gmail.com. You can support our film and also follow along with the filming process because I do updates, which I need to do tonight over on Indiegogo, the final episode, which if you're just tuning in, fully funded and we're shooting and we're making progress with that. Instagram, X, the Horse Squad podcast, you can find us on there. But like always, thank you for listening and we'll see you next week with Christmas Evil.
All
See you.
right. Bye.